everyone, and Merry Christmas. It's actually a couple days after Christmas. I'm a little late doing the video, but that's okay. Some of you don't watch the video for a week or two anyway, so you won't know the difference. I'll show you this. This is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that. This is cleats that snap onto my running shoes so that I can run in the snow. My sister got these for me right after all the snow melted. So I don't know if they're any good or not yet. But I got spikes up here in the front, springs back here. The idea is that this will dig into ice and this will dig into snow and I won't die. So that'd be good if it works. Have to wait for it to snow again. I'm supposed to do that later this week though, so it should be good. It's called Yak Tracks. I'll post a review about these once I find out if they're any good. So that's kind of cool. Boom, 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 boom. I said I was going to do a giveaway. So, hardcover, The Academy. Old cover. I remember this cover because this is actually a scene in a book. Not many of my covers actually have scenes in the books anymore. But this is a scene in the book. Those of you who read the story should know this scene. And you should know the name of this guy. And this guy, actually. These two guys. You should know their name if you know the series. If not, go reread the series. So, it's in good condition. Book 2. Hardcover. That's going to be the next giveaway. Watch your email. I'll send it out via the email sometime this week. Signed hardcover. Complete with pages. So, watch for that. This week I'll mention it someplace. I'll put a newsletter out. I'll mention it on Facebook and stuff like that. So you'll want to see it. I'll check real quick. Let's see. Academy. Yeah, I don't even think this is a typo cover. I think this is actually just a straight up good book. Dust jacketed hardcover. With my old logo. I have a new logo. And I have a new cover. So this is completely probably to never be printed again. But you can win it. So watch your email for that. So poke around for news for you guys this week. And this one's kind of humorous. I'm going to try and get this picture to show up for you. It's kind of hard to tell even for me for the picture. But that's a seal sitting on a car. A Toyota to be exact. My son would be proud of me. This seal weighs, what does it say in this article? Oh, there it is. 440 pounds sitting on the hood of this car. This is out of Australia in a suburb of Tasmania. So, apparently Mr. Seal just got up and went for a walk and ended up in this neighborhood and decided to sit in this people's car. So they had to call for help. It says here, and I quote, "The seal, an adult male weighing 440 pounds, was spotted just before 6 a.m. scrambling onto and off of and between cars, leaving dents and broken windshields in its wake. Officials said the seal stopped several times, taking naps and soaking up the sun." They've named him Mr. Lou Seal. So they don't really know where the seal came from, but they did catch it, and it is receiving medical care now. Will be released back to the wild. So it's kind of fun, you know. Where I am in the Northeast U.S., we don't really worry about seals sitting on our cars in the morning, thankfully. But if you live in Australia, this is just one of the many things they have to deal with down under. Seals are probably all crazy because they're hanging upside down all day long. That'd make me crazy. This is a really cool picture in this space.com article. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all. They just picked a pretty picture for the article. The title of the article is Bizarre Antimatter Emits Same Light as Regular Matter. You can tell this is a somebody into marketing wrote this title, not any scientists. Probably the same person who picked this picture. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all. Just some guy with a spirograph. That's what it looks like. So, antimatter is one of these things in science that we don't understand. Well, kind of understand. But here's the problem. When the universe did the Big Bang thing, assuming our theories about Big Bang cosmology is correct, there should have been equal parts of matter and antimatter created. The problem there is that a particle of antimatter meets a particle of matter, they annihilate each other. So if there was exactly equal amounts of matter and antimatter, then there should be nothing left. Yet, I'm sitting here making a video, so obviously there's stuff left. That being the case, they're trying to figure out this whole antimatter thing because there's, best we can tell, is practically none of it out there. One theory is that there was slightly more matter than antimatter, so when all was said and done, matter was the only thing left. Maybe, but they don't know. The reason why it's in the news again, though, is because they finally have determined that antimatter doesn't emit anti-light. It emits normal light. So that's kind of cool. Since it emits normal light, it'll make it easier to study. If it emitted anti-light, then we would need a whole new field of physics to explain what anti-light was. And it looks nothing like the picture in the article. Nothing to do with anything. Like I said, it looks like some kid with a spirograph. But that's reported on space.com. You can read up there about how they made 15 atoms of anti-hydrogen and shot it with a laser, and it reacted exactly the same way as matter did. So that's kind of cool. Sci-fi fans will know that you need antimatter for a warp drive, so we need to get good at this antimatter stuff so we can build a warp drive. The warp drive will make a lot of this stuff easier to figure out. And I'm kind of jumping to all things that we don't know about this week, I think. But Science Alert has an article talking about radio signals. So here's the deal. We got really big antennas. They go click and point like that. Well, there's a little thing in the center. Well, something like that. And they scan the sky looking at stuff in deep space using radio waves, which aren't blocked by all the streetlights out there, for one. Well, they have discovered a whole bunch of radio signals coming from outside our galaxy. And that's really cool because we have no idea what they are. And it's really cool when we find stuff that we have no idea what it is, because that keeps the drive going. So this was reported 24th of December, so this is breaking news. They found 6 more of these signals, and they go dating back to 2007, all from the same section of the sky. Very high energy radio waves equal to the output of the sun for a whole day. No idea where they come from, no idea what they are, but they keep repeating, so there's something out there generating them. And I think we're finding like in the dozens of them now in that one area of the sky. Of course, somebody's going to come up with, say, they're aliens. If they are aliens and they're outside the galaxy, they're probably long dead by now, because it would have taken millions, if not hundreds of millions of years for those signals to reach us. So, sorry, whoever sent the signal, probably not there anymore. Oh, don't know. Maybe they had the warp drive. So that's kind of cool. Over in, what's this, Finland? France. Like Finland. Just totally different country, totally different language, totally different culture, but both start with F. Over in France, they have opened the world's first solar road. It's a kilometer long, and it's made of solar panels under a really thick resin that can support the weight of a truck. So trucks and cars drive back and forth over this road, but the road sits there collecting light from the sun It's going to use that light to power the street lights. Sounds like a great idea. Could you imagine if every single road in the world was one big solar panel? You know, then we'd have tons of power rolling into our systems and be a lot more resilience for against power outages and things like that, because as long as the roads were connected someplace, you'd be fine. Well, there's some problems with this design. First off, it's extremely expensive. It would be cheaper just to produce the power. Let's see, 1 kilometer road came in at 5 million euros. That's a lot of euros. More euros than I have. Most of your solar experts tell you that the solar panels put on people's rooftops will produce a lot more power for a lot cheaper. First off, they don't need the resin protection from having a truck drive over them. Second off, by pitching them at the angle, they can collect the sun for much longer parts of the day and collect a lot more power. So, in order for this experiment to work, it's going to have to generate a lot more power than they're expecting to generate, and they're going to have to get the cost down a lot. Still sounds like a cool idea. So we'll have to watch that and see how it goes. That's in France. Again, all the links to the articles are always down below. That one's on Science Alert. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we discovered a planet. I think I mentioned this last week as part of another thing, but Proxima Centauri, which is the closest star to us at 4.2 light years. We used to think it was Alpha Centauri, but Proxima Centauri is just slightly closer. Well, Proxima Centauri has a planet around it that's only like 20% larger than the Earth, and it's sitting in that Goldilocks zone. Goldilocks zone is where it's not too close to the sun and not too far from the sun, so there could be liquid water on the planet. The thought is, if it's, you know, roughly the same size as Earth, roughly the same temperature, and has water, then it's possible there's life there. I don't know. We'll have to get that antimatter project working so we can get the warp drive so we can drive out there and check it out. Or Stephen Hawking's solar sail, but I suspect we're going to find out it's a big empty rock. It may have water on it, but I don't think we'll find life. If we do, it's only 4.2 light years away, which means if it was an advanced civilization of any kind, we would have heard from them by now. Because it would only take their radio signals 4.5 years to reach us. So if they're watching TV from the early... Hey, they don't know who won the presidency yet. They're watching our TV from 4 years ago, and we'd be watching their TV from 4 years ago. There's probably no advanced life out there. We would have picked up their signals by now if there was. But we'll see. If Stephen Hawking's little solar sails make it out there, who knows what we'll find? Maybe dinosaurs. I think that's where Elvis is. They're still looking for that fairy tale matter known as dark matter. Still can't find any actual proof of it. All they can find is suggestions, like gravitational shadows that don't have an explanation other than that theory, alternate theory of gravity I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and probably a dozen other things. But they're still using all their massive tools, looking for WIMPs and other kinds of particles. Still can't find any direct evidence. The alien megastructure is still having fun. So, it's called Tabby Star. There's something circling that star. We have no idea what it is. So, of course, the internet thinks it's aliens. Because the internet always thinks it's aliens. It could be a cloud of comets. It could be multiple planets. It could be some other phenomenon we don't know about. But it has to be aliens because this is the internet, right? So, let's see. There's really not a lot else I wanted to cover, I don't think. Well, this is kind of fun. If you can see this picture on Scientific America's website, if I don't cover my fingers, those are silkworms. Apparently, if you feed silkworms carbon nanotubes, they produce super strong silk. The silk is already really strong to begin with. But if they eat carbon nanotubes, their silk is 50% stronger and still super light and super elastic. And they have to cook it to 1,000 degrees Celsius to carbonize it. It's kind of cool. Another fun thing about this is my weakest stuff we don't know if they have no idea why. They just know if they feed them carbon nanotubes, their silk is stronger. So that's kind of cool. I love how there's so much stuff out there we still don't know, because it keeps the drive for learning. As long as you have the drive for learning, we as a species can keep advancing and perhaps solve some of these problems. So we talked about how we don't know why there's not more antimatter. We don't have an answer to the dark matter question yet. We don't know why silkworms eating carbon nanotubes produce super strong silk. We don't know what the radio signals are that are coming from outside of our galaxy. And we don't know what's in front of the Tabby star, except maybe possibly it's an alien megastructure, because everything is aliens. So that's kind of cool. No breaking news that I can give you a lot of information about, like give you a lot of explanation for. Kind of did that on purpose. It's kind of fun to look at things we don't know about. I wanted to show you something else, except my computer went to sleep. Wake it up. You can't see my password, right? Oh, I closed the window. That's not very smart, Vincent. You're live on camera. So over here, I don't know what you can see. I hope you can't see too much because there's some spoilers in it. But you can see a timeline here. Lost Tales of Power, I have to admit, now that I'm on my 8th book, has gotten too big. I'm having a hard time keeping the entire universe in my head. So I'm actually trying to take notes now. So this is the beginning of the timeline of the entire series to date. Every event that's ever happened, put on a date on the calendar. So like here, this is I can't see anything because this stupid camera light. I got these little glowy balls in front of my eye. But some event here happened on Monday, September the 13th. No, April the 13th. I don't know. There's an event that happened there. I didn't plan for these glowy balls of light caused by that. Blanking it. But this is a piece of software called Aeon. A-E-O-N. It's pretty cool. Lets you drop everything down there and set, make your own calendars up and stuff like that and track the whole series. So, in order to figure out where I am in Mage Hunter, I'm starting to build out this timeline, going all the way back to Enemy of an Enemy. Those of you who've been reading the series know that the calendar resets at the end of Enemy Enemy. After the event ends closing the book, they start a new calendar. I won't say what those fans are in case you haven't read it yet. If you haven't read it, read it. It's free. So, this week, giving this away. Newsletter list, we'll have it later this week. It'll probably be another one of those go to a web page, click a few buttons, and submit your email address and have a computer randomly pick a winner thing. I like those because then I don't have to worry about who I'm picking. This was a Vincent's Baby Sister original cover. Again, probably never to be printed again. You get this with the old cover, the old logo, dust jacketed hardcover, and I will sign it. And then, sometime in the future when I'm dead and after writers after they die become famous, so I'll have to die. Then I'll become famous. By that time, you'll have given this book to your kids, and they'll be able to sell it with my signature. See, I'm looking out for you. So watch for that this week in the newsletter. And until next time, may the real God of creation bless and keep you this day.